All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We're here once again with another live stream, your daily live stream, your daily content, the daily conversations. I love spending time with you guys. Honestly, obviously, I don't enjoy where we are at the moment in terms of the league position, which is what we're going to talk about, and I don't completely like the state of the club at the moment. But as I said recently, patience is the virtue of life, ladies and gentlemen. Patience is the virtue of life. But we are 10th. We are 10th, ladies and gentlemen. We are 10th. Moving into the match against Manchester City, which will be tomorrow. And I'll do the preview for that sometime tomorrow as well. This time tomorrow, maybe we'll do it as a live together, and we can talk about that match. Obviously, not many of us are confident moving into that match. Man City probably have a lot to play for in this match, because knowing that Arsenal have dropped points against Newcastle, Man City will fancy their chances in order to bridge that gap with Arsenal Football Club. This is a golden opportunity for them to make up some ground, I suppose. And what do we have? What do we have to play for? What do we have to play for? I really want to hear from you guys today. I honestly just want to pick out some of your comments. How you feel about the fact that we're 10th? And I guess, this is what I said, not that long ago, that I'm happy to be patient with Graham Potter. I'm happy to, prolong pain. But how far? How far will we go down? How far will we go down until it is unacceptable? I suppose, surely our owners will have a certain limit where you can't cross that line and still be okay. I find it I honestly would find it very strange if they did pull the plug on Graham Potter, because knowing the kind of contract he's on, which is a long-term contract, I find it how they will just pay him out. Do you know what I mean? Like, it will be a hefty payout because he's only just started on his contract, and I think he's got what, 5 plus 1 year, something like that. I would find it very strange if they were to pull the plug on him. But I only see it one way. Graham Potter's got to start winning games. He really does. He really has to start winning games. I can't see how we try and rectify this situation in any other way. Starlet's saying, don't be surprised if we beat City tomorrow. Look, I won't be surprised, but I mean, what are the odds for that to happen, man? I mean, I'm not really certain whether this is absolutely feasible. Do you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, it is a possibility, but it's a long shot, man. It's a long shot. We look so dysfunctional. No Reece James as well on that right side. Midfield doesn't look good. Attack doesn't look good. Defense looks leaky. And then you have Man City, who, as I said, have a lot to fight for. A lot. If they want to pose any sort of, title challenge, and I'm pretty sure they definitely consider themselves being in the title challenge of things. Obviously, for me, they're still the favorites. Still a long way to go. Arsenal, I know they're ahead, but still a long way to go. They'd fancy this game to catch up on some grounds. Like, I definitely want us to do something. I want us to show some grit. I want us to show some character. I want us to show some fight, even if we don't win. But let's say we draw. Let's put up a good fight, and even if we lose, let's really make them sweat. Let's make them absolutely sweat for it. But 10th, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Man City, and then we've got Fulham. And you know what? Fulham ain't going to be easy. Willian is having a ball over there at Fulham. Willian is creating chances and assisting quite a bit for Mitrovic and some of the other players that they have. So, and Fulham, they really take the game to you. So, man, I'm looking at this table right now. Honestly, we're on 16 matches. Obviously, we've got a match against City, and then Fulham. Then we'll be on parity with everyone else on 18. Majority of people are on 18 matches or 17 matches or so. 16 matches, 7 wins, 4 draws, 5 losses, 25 points, man. Brentford is ahead of us. Obviously, we've got a couple of games on them, but after City and Fulham, we should be in the same level as them. So hopefully we can leapfrog them. Brighton are on 27 points, so hopefully we can leapfrog them. But it's not gonna be easy, man. It's not gonna be easy. Beastie is saying, Miz, I saw a report saying if we sign Enzo by the end of today, he could play tomorrow. Although realistically, that's not even in the horizon of happening. If he did sign, look, we are so desperate. We are so desperate for Enzo Fernandez to come and join us ASAP. Look, it ain't happening tomorrow. It ain't happening today, let alone him starting tomorrow for us. That's a huge wish. I don't think that's happening. Ziyech is the only Chelsea player who is creative and take risks, passes forward, but yeah, he's all the time benched. I mean, would you start him against City? I probably would start him. Mitrovic is suspended for our game. That's good news. That actually is a very, very good news. At least Mitrovic misses the game against us. That's brilliant. That table is traumatizing me. It is horrendous looking at that table, being 10th, so far behind everyone else, man. And to know that our next game is City, it's not like we can really improve on that 10th position. I'm hoping we can, but based on our form, I'm only going by based on our form. Based on our form, I think, one win in the last 7? It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. Advaid is saying, big up, Miz. I feel your owners being so ambitious, even more so spending 120 million on Enzo, 600 million so far. Obviously means they fully back Potter. They say Rome wasn't built in a day. And 100% agreed. 100% agreed, Advaid, that our owners, this is the only thing that gives me hope. Our owners are doing their level best to bring this football club to where it once used to be. They're spending a lot of money. They're showing a lot of ambition. They're showing a lot of desire. And it only makes me think that it's all up to Potter now. It really is all up to Potter. And obviously, the players can. I was saying earlier on, you know what? Like looking at Newcastle, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the past 12 months or so, Newcastle. My Wi-Fi is just. Hopefully, I've even complained about lagging. Let me know if I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me though? Yeah, man. So frustrating, man. So frustrating, this Wi-Fi. I don't know what else to do, man. Honestly, I don't know what else to do. Yeah, I can see that we're moving. Yeah, I'm back. Okay, cool. So yeah, as I was saying, Newcastle, what a story for them. Past 12 months, one thing Eddie Howe has done is made them so difficult to beat. So difficult to beat. And you got to appreciate the work that they've done. And the look, as I said, I'm patient with Potter. I'm really patient with Potter. But the one thing that I wanted Potter to do as soon as he took over is at least make us hard to beat. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is something that Thomas Tuchel did. You know, as soon as he took over, he made us hard to beat initially, obviously, until it kind of all fell apart. I just thought that when Graham Potter would take us on, that he'll find a defensive rhythm at least where we are difficult to be beaten. But right now it seems like we're a bit too feeble, bit too vulnerable. We can be broken very, very easily, and that's something that I don't appreciate one bit of the characteristic of our team. I just wish that we were a little bit more difficult to beat, man. That other teams found us hard to play, much like Newcastle. Newcastle, they've just got so much about them at the moment, man. Not only they're hard to beat, they're defensively so organized, but even moving forward, they've got so much to offer as well, man. They're such a good unit, and it's crazy. Like, people talk about project, right? And we talk about 2 years, 3 years time, this, that, the other. But you see someone like Newcastle. They've really done it in about 12 months. They've really turned things around. Fabrizio tweet, Miz. Let me just have a quick look at this Fabrizio tweet that everyone is talking about. I'll get to this super chat very soon, Dark. Thank you so much for this super chat. Shakhtar Donetsk director Dario Sona will be in London this week, and he's expected at the stadium for Chelsea-Manchester game. Chelsea and Shakhtar will discuss about Mudryk in the next 24 hours. Also, Arsenal remain in direct talks and players' current priority. Honestly, I find this Mudryk situation strange, man. Like, how did Chelsea get themselves in this mix? Look, I love it. I absolutely love the fact that we're in the mix. I like Mudryk. I would take Mudryk. If it's not João Felix, let's go with Mudryk. But this guy badly wants Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal Football Club wants this guy. Like, is this just a mechanism to drive Arsenal to pay what Shakhtar wants? It's mad. Dark, thank you so much for the super chat. What are your expectations for the end of season? Also, do you think our January signings will make a difference? Lastly, who would you drop, sell from the squad? Happy New Year, Miz. Happy New Year to you, Dark. So many questions here. Let's address each and every one of them. What are your expectations for the end of the season? Look, I've given up on top four. I really have given up on top four. My expectation is probably at least top six, fifth or sixth, somewhere there. Even that's going to be very difficult. But I feel like clubs like City and Arsenal are way ahead. And also, you can probably now put in Newcastle and Man United really turning on the gears now. Teams like Liverpool, teams like Spurs, they're on the decline, I think. And I feel like we've realized that we needed a reset. We've realized that we were on a decline, but we're now trying to, recoup and get back into things. So it's going to take a bit of time. We've got to stay patient. My expectation is probably fifth or sixth, and then hopefully, we can build a particular style of football that is good to watch and that can bring results, and then work on that next season. In regards to also, do you think our January signings will make a difference? I think so. I think Enzo Fernandez, hopefully that will get done very, very soon, will make a big difference, huge difference in midfield. But I also need a right-sided player. I need a right back badly need a right back. And whether we get an attacker or not, I'm not sure. But at least a right back and Enzo Fernandez will make a hell of a lot of difference. Lastly, who would you drop, sell from the squad? Happy New Year, Miz. Who would I drop, sell? Players that don't really feature, or players that are not really fancied by Graham Potter. I mean, Ziyech is one that comes to my mind. Is he going to get the starts? If he's not going to be utilized, let's sell him. Christian Pulisic, are we going to believe in him completely? If yes, then fine, keep him. If not, then sell him. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, like, really, what does he provide us anymore? Aspilicueta as well. I mean, let's move on with some of these players. So yeah, for me, these would be the ones. Tim B, thank you so much for the super chat. Potter is dropping points to bad teams right now. Yeah. I mean, some of the teams that we played recently, Nottingham Forest obviously being the recent one. Good that we picked up points against Bournemouth. Everyone's smashing Bournemouth left, right, and centre. But I think Reece James being there really helped. Obviously, we dropped points against Brentford. Brentford, they look really good. But that's a game that you probably think we should be doing our best to win. Man United, we were ahead. We should have tried our best to close that match out 1-0, but they were probably the better team on the day. So it was probably deserved that it was 1-1. Arsenal, we got outplayed. Newcastle as well, we didn't have anything. Yeah, man. Let's see what we can do against Newcastle with Man City coming up soon. Biz, question: who's the best and the most consistent player so far? Best and consistent player. I can't even say Thiago Silva. Like I like Thiago Silva. I think he probably comes the closest to this. But even he's had issues. He's made mistakes. Probably Kepa. Yeah, some people are saying Kepa. I'd probably say Kepa. I'd probably put Kepa there. I can't think of any other player that's been consistently good. So yeah, Arsenal are after Leao, and Leao is up for it. Miz, I don't think Arsenal will get Leao. Leao is going to cost a lot of money. I mean, Arsenal can't even seem to get Mudryk. And look, it's not about Arsenal can't get Mudryk. I think Arsenal, they operate in a smart manner. They don't want to pay overs for anyone. They really do not want to play overs for anyone. Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Georgie, Aspie, Oba can leave now. Yeah, all of these names, man. But if we're going to send all of these players packing, we need to have some players lined up for replacements. We have to give the coach time, and I'm all up for time. But you know what? You keep sliding below 10th, and it's an absolute dogfight in the second half, in the second part of the table. There is a lot of teams that are fighting dangerously over there. I mean, I'm looking at below us, Crystal Palace, 22 points. Crystal Palace, on their day, they can be very good. Aston Villa are on their way up. Do you know what I mean? They're playing some really good football under Emery. But then after that, yeah, it's all a bit chaotic. Leicester, Leeds, Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Wolves, Southampton. We shouldn't slide. I feel we shouldn't slide any more below 10th. Really, we shouldn't. From here, we should look to go forward. But yeah, man, you just never know, man. We need some signings in January badly. Stuart G, good to see you, my man. Miz, why do you seem to have so many inconsistent and weak? Why do we seem to have so many inconsistent and weak-minded players? I don't know, man. Some of these players, maybe they're just over it at the moment. Havertz on his third season. Maybe he's over it. Maybe it's time for him to move on. Christian Pulisic on his fourth season. Maybe he's over it. Time for him to have a change. Ziyech as well on his third season. N'Golo Kante seems to be getting injured left, right, and center. So that's that. He's got his own personal issues. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has just been around at the football club for too long and has really done nothing for the club. It's just, I don't know. Some of these players seem like they maybe are just a bit outdated, man. They're just outdated. Like, they need to move on. Even Aubameyang, like, as much as I was so happy with that move, but purely because his connection with Thomas Tuchel. But now under Graham Potter, Aubameyang seems like he's a misfit, and he's not someone who's really fancied by Graham Potter, and he looks like he's just here for a bit of a paycheck, isn't he? So recruitment, this is where recruitment has to come into play, man. We better recruit players that really want to play for the club, man, moving forward. The likes of Nkunku, likes of Enzo Fernandez. Hopefully they really want to play for the football club, man, because that's the fundamental. That's what you need first up. The players playing for the club first. Then only, they can start believing in the manager's philosophy and buy into whatever they want to do. Right now, I don't think any of these players are really buying into what Potter's doing, and more losses we have is only going to demoralize this entire team. We have a loss against Man City, it's only going to demoralize even more, because the playing unit, they don't want to keep losing week in, week out. Do you know what I mean? Look at our form, man. It's pathetic. Marviel saying, Miz, let's be honest, Werner was bad, but at least had the opposition worried, threatened, and he could assist. Now we have nothing. No one fears us. I mean, look, we are at a position where we're missing Timo Werner. You know it's peak. You know it's peak for Chelsea Football Club when you're missing Timo Werner. No disrespect to Timo Werner. Yes, you're right. He did provide something for us. But my days, he was also disastrous. He was also disastrous. But the fact is that some of us are reminiscing about him. It just shows where we are as a football club. Get Enzo and Good right back in January. Get Colwell when his loan expires and have a healthy competition next season. Badia Shal, get Rice in and 2 good attackers in the summer. Sell Pulisic, Ziyech, etc. There's a lot that's been said in this particular comment. It seems like a complete renovation, complete change, a cosmetic surgery, to be honest. And that's probably what we need. That's probably what we need. Fabrizio Romano said on USMT channel that Chelsea are not looking to let go of Pulisic unless Chelsea starts going for new wingers. That's only when Pulisic could go. And look, it looks like we're not going to get another attacker unless Mudryk really happens. It looks like it's going to be Enzo Fernandez and hopefully a right-sided player, man. Honestly, if it's just Enzo Fernandez and not a right-sided player, I'm going to be still worried. So from that perspective, I can understand why maybe we're keeping Pulisic. But Pulisic himself, he's got to start producing for us, man. You got to take your man on. Like, too passive for me at times. Way too passive. have a look at Almiron, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look at Almiron for Newcastle. Not only he has the work rate without the ball, the way he defended and helped out Kieran Trippier against Arsenal, that was so good to see. And then moving forward, he's always trying to take on the defenders. We need Christian Pulisic to be able to do that. We need Sterling to be able to do that. Take your players on, man. We're too passive, way too passive. Himanshu, Werner is one of the worst footballers I've ever watched in my lifetime. Not even kidding. Chelsea board gives Potter 2 more games. If not approve the result, he will sack. Look, City and Fulham. How many points are we expecting, ladies and gentlemen? Nearly 300 of you guys are live right now. Man City and Fulham next up. How many points are we expecting, ladies and gentlemen? Please comment. Please comment. I'm worried. I think Man City, I can't see how we beat them, man. I really can't see how we beat them. So for me, that's probably a 0. Unless if we can get a draw, somehow squeeze a draw. But I'm thinking it's going to be 0 points there against City. And against Fulham, are we home or are we away to Fulham? What are we? Are we home or are we away? We're away. We're away to Fulham. What's our form like away from home? Maybe, I'd like to think we're going to beat Fulham, but Fulham's form's better than us, man. Fulham play good football. No Mitrovic, that's going to be an issue for them. There's no doubt. That will be an issue for them. But let's say 3 points. I'm backing my team for 3 points. So I'm hoping in the next 2 games, maybe 3 points. Maybe we can conjure up 3 points. But let's see, man. Let's see. If he gets 2 losses, if Potter gets 2 losses, he would have to be under pressure. You'd think he would have to be under pressure. But yeah, let's see. Kyriakos, it will become worse soon. It seems that players do not care and are relaxed. Kingsley, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Potter is not going anywhere until next season. Look, I believe this as well, but how far would you go down, man? How far could you possibly go down? Is there no limit? Could we just keep racking up losses after losses? Surely there has to be a limit for the new owners, no, Kingsley? He's on a 6-year contract, best mates with English commentators. He shows no passion, no motivation, no desire. His pocket is bigger than it ever has. That's the thing. It's a long-term contract, man. And that's what makes me think I don't think he's gonna go. But for me, the only way forward is he's got to pick up results. Random RB option to Ben was Wan Bissaka. Thoughts, Miz, 3 points. To be honest, Fulham is playing well, but we could get something from them. Wan Bissaka, nah, man. I know he's doing all right at the moment for Man United, but nah, we've been linked with Frimpong from Leverkusen. We've been linked with, Juranovic. We've been linked with Dumfries. We've been linked with Malagusto from Lyon. And then to go to Wan Bissaka, I don't know. I don't know if I fancy that. Sihli is saying Miz is low key Potter out. I'm not low key anything, mate. I want Potter to do well, mate. Like honestly speaking, like I don't know whether you're just trolling or not, but from what I've said in recent videos, recent streams, I want this guy to start picking up points. Like some people even ask me, Miz, do you want a charismatic manager? Do you want a manager that has a little bit of passion? Of course I do, but at the end of the day, 3 points is what counts for me. Just get me 3 points, man. We're 10th. Like, I don't want to see my football club being 10th. And then upcoming, it's Man City and then Fulham, who are playing well. I don't want to see our football club to keep going further below. It hurts. At the moment, I'm wishing Graham Potter all the best to turn this around. But you look at our form, it's not looking good, man. The form is not great. As I said, the one thing I probably wanted from him when he first took over is at least make us difficult to beat. Now look at Newcastle in the last 12 months when Eddie Howe took over. I'm pretty sure Graham Potter has that in him. T1, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Potter has long-term contract, but his selections are so short-sighted. Yeah, his substitutions as well, man, using Conor Gallagher deep when he's just not capable of playing deep, not using Omari Hutchinson. What's the deal with him not using Omari Hutchinson, man? Use Omari Hutchinson. Like I've said, do something different. Maybe he can give us a bit of that kick, in attack. The way Dumfries stopped USA at the World Cup, that's the player we need. I'm all down for Dumfries, man. I'm all down for Dumfries. Miz, we are in trouble, man. Starla Miz, we're actually signing Mudryk. This story heating up, really. Look, I'll do a transfer news special again later on in the UK time, just before the match starts. As you know, two content per day. I'll cover the latest on the transfer news there. This Mudryk thing, I mean, will this guy give it his best for Chelsea Football Club? I know he's going to be professional, but all of this time he's been kissing Arsenal's backside a lot, big time. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, let's see. Clicks, salam, brother. Wa alaikum salam, my man. Us being 10th is sad to see yet again. We are literally in 2015 era again. Whilst living in 2023, it's peak, bro. It absolutely is peak. President Jafar, thank you so much for the super chat. Potter had the shortest player bounce in history. Shortest player bounce. Shubra, my man. Seniors are not doing good anyway. Hall, Amari, Chuku should get more minutes. And this is the thing. Why aren't we seeing Omari Hutchinson at least? Is Potter just worried that he doesn't want to disrupt the playing unit, the seniorities, like the senior players? He doesn't want to lose them. You make all of these wholesale of changes, then you may disrupt the entire group and you may lose, or the entire dressing room, and they start losing games anyway. I mean, what's the difference? We're losing games anyway now, right? So I feel like just change things around. It's not like the senior members are actually helping you out. If anything, they're probably detrimental to you. Balak CFC, good to see you, my man. 291 people, nearly 300 live right now. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get those likes up to 200 if we can. That would be fantastic during the live stream. Sometime, I think if less than in about half an hour, we've got All You Can Eat Chelsea coming up as well. So please smash the like button. I've given up to be honest. People said Bowley has a plan. But has the transfer strategy even changed? Going after obvious players and trying to hijack deals like Summer, what are these scouts doing? Look, I mean, Christopher Nkunku is a good signing. Enzo Fernandez is a very good signing as well, in my opinion. Mudryk would be a good signing. So, look, I know we're trying to get all these players from other people like Mudryk, and like, they're good players, though. Like, I'd have problems if we're trying to hijack average players. But the ones that we're really linked with are good players. And hopefully these people will buy into what Potter has to say. Or else it's long for Potter. It's absolutely long for him. Drop Jorginho, plays Akari as a 6 with Cover and Mount as 8s. Honestly, I wouldn't mind. But can he build up? Can he help him build up? Can he be press resistant? If he gets marked out of the game, what's going to happen to our build up? Will Cover and Mount drop deep and help out? Like, there's a lot of question marks, man. We could perhaps bypass him to not be part of the build up, but there has to be a strategy. There has to be a plan as to how we want to tackle the opposition. Eunice was and is right, and is about we stop having false hopes about Potter. He ain't the guy for us. I know Eunice. I think Eunice is someone who really doubts Potter. He really, really doubts Potter. With me, look, I've seen what he's done at Brighton. And I feel like he can hopefully, like, I'm hoping that he can do that. He can emulate that with Chelsea. I just don't know if I can give him a long time, like the way he did it at Brighton, 2-3 seasons. Like, I want him to be able to turn this around in the next 12 months, much like what Eddie Howe did with Newcastle. But of course, he needs his players. Eddie Howe and Newcastle, they're recruited well. Bruno Guimaraes, Kieran Trippier, Dan Burn, and all those players. Nick Pope. They've brought in some really good players. So, yeah, Graham Potter should be able to at least do that, and then we can perhaps start judging him. Miz, we should go for Pedro Porro at right back. He's really talented and has a 45 million euro release clause. You should watch him, and he's one of our right back target. I know a lot of people have been talking about Pedro Porro. Why aren't we solidly linked with this guy? Like, we need a right back. I don't understand how almost a week of January is passing by and we're not heavily linked with a particular right back. It's quite mad. It's almost as if we're okay with Azpilicueta. Like, someone needs to actually go out there and say, look, mate, that is a distinct weakness in our team, that right side. And when Reece James even comes back this time around, what's the guarantee that he's going to stick around not being injured? Potter needs to be the guy to transfer our squad technically and physically before handing over to an elite manager, kind of like Ranieri to Jose all those years back. He needs time to do this. It's got a long-term contract, man. I don't think Potter is going anywhere unless something drastically bad happens with Chelsea. We're 10th. I think if we anywhere around 15th, 16th, that's when you probably see Potter not lasting any much longer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to slowly wrap things up. I'm going to take a few more comments. I still don't know what we are trying to do with system or playing style. Shouldn't this much time be enough to know or see signs what we're trying to do? And this is what I'm hoping, man. This is what I'm hoping for this second half of this season, for Potter to really start implementing his type of football, man. Because what we saw against Forest, not good enough, man. It is not good enough. I'm hoping against Man City, at least we're difficult to beat. I need us to show a particular way of football, a ideology of how we're going to break down the opposition. None of these sideways, slow football, man. It's not going to work out for us. I don't think Potter is bad per se, but I didn't like how he would always start players that have been playing poorly, Sterling, Now, Ziyech, and not giving Pulisic more chances starting. Yeah, absolutely agreed. Starlet, Ms. Basuma wanted to join Arsenal so badly, but he decided to join Spurs. Same can happen with Mudryk. Look, of course, but I don't know if Basuma's case, like, he was desperate for Arsenal. Like, Mudryk literally is desperate for Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not really sure whether Arsenal were desperate for Basuma. Like Arsenal was desperate for Mudryk. I mean, look, great if it happens, but I'm not gonna be overly confident at the moment until I start seeing some proper reports that, yep, personal terms agreed, and Shakhtar's dealing with us as opposed to Arsenal. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Kingsley, once again, thank you so much for the super chat. If owners were to sack Potter, it's incompetence. Nah, 100% is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button before you go. Over 200 people, 280 people, nearly 300 at one stage, or it was actually more than 300 at one stage. Smash the like button. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys very soon on Matisse's channel for All You Can Eat Chelsea. Until then, take care. See ya.